From our studio on scenic The Moon, it's Kieroneus TV. Take only as directed. It is I, your host, Kieroneus, and with me is Man on the Couch.
Yo, baby. Well, that's actually probably going to be loud. I really peaked that.
Don't worry about it.
I don't know why I did that either. I'm normally just kind of really chilled, but...
Just as long as I can hear you, that's all
Right.
that matters.
I have so much room for activities over here. We got a little new setup, and that is my favorite part of the show, when you put your headphones down. Yes! Oh, that means I did a good job today.
Because
That means I don't need to do anything else.
no, you're gonna want to keep.
Shut up.
You're gonna want to keep on your toes today. We got a nice, big, fat, juicy show. This is the reason why I didn't do any Would You Rathers yesterday. Because yesterday we were playing some Minecraft Mondays.
Before we get into the hard hitting that is KTV, and truly today is hard hitting.
Oh, yes.
And this is literally a conversation we were having 30 seconds before we came on air. We've talked about this before. If we were going to amputate one of our limbs and replace it with robotic parts, right? I came up with a new one, and I just want everyone to know it because I think this is the right answer, because you're knocking out a few things. I would want to decapitate both of my from my knees down, get my whole bottom part of my leg. I'm not a biologist, so I don't know what that is called. Mm-hmm. All robotic plus robotic feet, but it looks. I don't want toe looking stuff. Don't sit there and do this. What's wrong?
Nothing's wrong. Just what you're saying. You're
But
saying you want to get your legs chopped off and replaced with robotics.
Robotics, because I wouldn't ever have to buy shoes again, and they wouldn't stink. And you wonder what? Oh my goodness! Now I'm thinking everything. If anything, the giant 13-foot man that you are, I think you would like this the most. Because all of a sudden, it's not oh, that car's too small for me. I'm 6'2", and sometimes I run into that. So, you running into that has to happen all the time. You can just, take your legs off and be like, okay, yeah, I can fit in there.
I would think more something along retractable legs. I wouldn't want to take them off. I'd still
Oh no, I
want
want to scare children. I'd take them off.
height adjustment, but I'm sure amputees would disagree with the notion.
Oh no, but I'm sitting there. Okay. Wow, thanks for making me feel like the a-hole of the group.
I know you didn't mean it, folks.
Yeah.
He didn't mean it that way.
Either that or my arm, so I can have a lighter in my thumb for my cigar. I think that would be rad.
No, well, okay. Real talk. I think every one of us out there. Don't try to act like you never have. I think every one of us has at some point just imagined how cool it would be to have a robotic arm or
Right.
a robotic leg. Because we all watched RoboCop and we thought, oh man, see that part where his leg pops open and there's a gun in it? That's
Right.
so cool. So yeah, and incidentally, I'm the one who told him, yeah, we should probably have this conversation on the air. So I don't want to put it all on Couch Man.
I don't know. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's cool. But hey, speaking of cool,
Yes.
You were listening to Kieroneus TV, and we have a lot of topics for today. First, Twitch has launched a grant for lady streamers.
Ooh.
Among other things, Donald Trump attributes gun violence to video games.
Excuse me?
Yeah, that's right. For the first time ever, we're going to talk. We're going to talk about Donald Trump. I'm actually voluntarily talking about it because it's literally a subject I have been trying to avoid for so long.
Right.
Unfortunately, he decided to tiptoe into my territory, so I got to say something now. But moving on.
Yeah.
Groot is dead. Another wonderful topic we have here. All of this and more on Kieroneus TV.
Yay.
So let's get things started. Last week, Twitch announced a fund to support female content creators. The streaming service, in cooperation with 1000 Dreams Foundation, has created a grant that they have dubbed Broadcast Her. The idea being to help buoy the careers of female streamers in high school and college who are, perhaps, a little down on their luck. The grant can be anywhere between $500 to $2,000 depending on the financial need.
Wait, say that again. How much is this grant?
Between $500 to $2,000.
$500 to $2,000.
Yeah.
I thought it was $500,000 to
No,
$200,000.
No,
I was
would've
like,
said-
A, you have that backwards, and B, holy.
Yeah, no. Trust me, I looked into this. This is all information I pulled from their site.
So 500 to $2,000.
Yeah. Which, man, I got to tell you, I would find that very useful. Just,
Well, no
I'll take the
crap.
500, but unfortunately, there's criteria you must meet. 1, you must be female. 2, you must be a Twitch affiliate or partner. 3, preference will be given to applicants who are currently enrolled in high school or 2-year, 4-year college or university or graduate school based in the U.S.
Okay.
Finally, applicants must demonstrate financial need. What they're saying is that they're going to go over things in a sort of like a case-by-case basis to ascertain the level of your need.
Right.
This seems like it should really hack me off. I know it definitely has pissed a lot of you off out there because I've been reading like various social media posts and seeing just like the angry face emoji posted
Right.
everywhere. And you know, it's not as if I can't see why. Based on my own experience, female streamers seem to do pretty well on their own. I mean, really, but this is anecdotal. This is just based on my own experience. Honestly, though, it doesn't bother me. For one thing, Twitch is a private institution. They could do whatever they want with their money. And so I mean, if I was angry, though, I would just use a different service. So for all of you who are getting hacked off about it, there's other services out there.
Man, we could almost go off into that. Okay, with that being said, I mean, is there? Really? We've talked about YouTube and how that is running around as if it's a chicken with its head cut off right now.
Well, I know there's Periscope.
Periscope is Periscope was bought by Facebook or Instagram 3 years ago?
Well, see, here's the thing. That only matters until we see if there's like a mass migration over to it. In which
Right.
case, that'll probably bolster its worth quite a bit.
No, I fully agree with you, and I think
I don't really see that happening though.
no, if anything, the mass migration will happen, and it will probably be to Twitch. Mm-hmm. It probably will. I know we hedge our bets, and we post. Well, you archive both YouTube and or the Twitch to YouTube.
Yeah, that's correct. By the way, link is available here on the page. I've done all the hard work for you. The links. Click the weird bird thing if you wanna follow us on Facebook. And the YouTube symbol is there to check out our YouTube page.
Right, but I don't think it is not it's not that, hey, they're angry with the platform. They're angry with Twitch just making this a girls only club. And when I say that, this grant being a gender specific grant. Because right now, like, either way, like, both of us, I'm not gonna lie, hell yeah, $500 to this channel would do a lot of good to this channel.
Absolutely.
It would do amazing things for this channel. But like it would have been a lot cooler if, and it kind of already is, the young creators grant, because they're sitting there and saying, hey, if you're a college kid, if you're a high school kid, if you're this, if you're that. I mean, even if we were females, right, doing this stream, we don't really fall under this. We can't go for this.
No,
grant.
we're not in college. We're definitely not high school age.
Yeah.
Here's my thing. What about transgender women? That's what I'm wondering.
That's a sticky situation. You know someone's gonna, and this is the thing. You know some genius out there is sitting there and emailing Twitch right now about this grant saying, you want to know what, I identify as a woman.
Right. Somebody.
Prove to me wrong. Prove to me that I
Somebody is
don't.
going to try to game the system, I think.
Oh, yeah, no, it's going to happen.
But I think because they are going on a case-by-case basis, like they will probably sit them down and review them.
Yeah.
Review their application, I would think. I don't know. I can't speak for them. I don't know what it is, what action they want to take, and I certainly don't want to put words in their mouth or anything. It's just a thought that popped into my head as I was reading it. It's like, you know, it's like with everything going on currently, one can't help but wonder.
Right.
As far as I'm concerned, personally though, I think we're no worse off as a result. I think we can do this, Couch Man. I think we can pull through and make this a channel worth writing home about.
No. In any way, we talk about this a lot where we do want to do this right. Almost, I'm going to use a sports ball term right now, so get ready for
The sports balls.
Yeah, for that. The Philadelphia 76ers, who have been a horrible franchise and just a horrible team for basketball for years and years and years, have a mantra that for the last 4 years, it's trust the process. And they're going to do it. And they're on the tip of that, like, oh my goodness, can they actually be good now? I'd much rather do it that way. I don't want to sit there and fix everything, you know, have help and get fixed everything else. With that being said, we are more than willing to have sponsors and everything else. I think that is part of the stepping into the big boy stairs, pants that we want to be in. But let me ask you this. Not looking at us, because the instant I was going to sit there and be like, well, why can't we, like, you know, we do this on a weekly basis. We do it twice a week. We do it 3 times a week with Minecraft Mondays. Catch that 11 o'clock on Mondays, p.m., Eastern time. Yeah, that's right. Eastern time. Yeah, I got really confused there.
You were right there.
Yeah, I got really confused. Yeah, I got really confused there. But when you told me the rules to get this grant, I was like, okay, that's fine. They showed us the rules. It's very easy to go find. Not to bash you, but if Kieroneus can go find this, anyone can go find this online.
Yeah. No, that's what I tell people. If I can do it, you can do it.
Yeah, right. But do you think this is a good idea?
This particular grant?
Yes.
I don't think it's a bad idea.
Right.
The sort of backstory for it, if you will, is that it's sort of like a way of celebrating Women's History Month. And 1,000 Dreams is an organization dedicated specifically to helping high school and college-aged females get a leg up on life. I don't really think it's a bad idea. Sure, I'd love $500 to $2,000 personally, but my situation isn't as such that I feel like I desperately need it to succeed. I don't know how that sounds. I'm more of the mind like, screw you, keep your hand out, I can do this, you know. And that's the kind of attitude I would try to encourage in anybody who was trying to make it in anything really. Although to be fair, if it were somebody I knew, and you know, I know a couple of female broadcasters, I would probably just tell them to take the money.
Well, yeah, right. Like, gift like, horse in a mouth.
Yeah, get what you need to do done. I mean, if you think you could do it without it, great. But hey, everybody's situation is different.
Oh wait, hold up. Do you hear that? It's the voice of public opinion. But Kieroneus, they have boobles, so they get all the views anyway.
Like I said, I know they do. I know they do pretty well on their own.
But the boobles.
Like I said, I'm not. That's why I'm not necessarily on board with it. I'm just giving my own personal input as to where I would stand on it. to an official capacity, I would, as just like a personal thing, I would tell people to try to do without it. But it's their money. They can do what they want with it. And if you don't like it, go to another streaming service. Twitch, please don't shut me down for telling people to go to another streaming service.
Yeah, please, Twitch. Seriously, I love you.
I mean, that's how this works. That's how a free market works.
What was the name of the charity again?
1,000 Dreams. The actual grant in partnership is Broadcast Her. Capital
Broadcast
H-E-R.
Her. Okay. With the 1,000 Dreams, was that it?
Yeah.
And you're saying that's a long running charity type of deal? I don't
know how long it's been in business exactly. I just know that its sole purpose is to help give females in high school and college a leg up.
But this is, I mean, to tell you the honest truth, whoever's getting paid down there and everything else, and whoever came up with this idea, they need to make a little bit more money, because this is a very forward-thinking type of grant. And this is a very forward-thinking, like, hey, streaming is the new TV, and they can physically make this a career, all this other cool stuff. Because I guarantee you have females in high school, and, I mean, with things we do on the moon a day-to-day basis, like, we run into females that have all the chops in the world if you just put them in front of something that can do it. I mean, I think that I was going to sit here and kind of bag on it that it's only a girls' club type of deal, but I don't know. Maybe I finally took your advice from a few podcasts ago and just, can everyone just be effing happy for 7 seconds? Like,
just cheer up.
Yeah, just cheer up. You want to know what? I'm totally down with this.
If it's a bad move, the people will eventually make their viewpoint on it clear. I don't need to tell anybody how to feel about it. Like, I'm not exactly thrilled about it. Yeah, it's very, very selective. But again, I'm not the kind of guy who likes to take a handout anyway.
Right.
I'm the kind of guy who wants to do it on his own merits. Mm-hmm. And if I fail, it's because I'm not good enough. Those are the breaks. And I accept that. And I would encourage people to be the same. But like I said, not everybody's the same. And this is Twitch's call. I have absolutely no control over it. Speaking of having absolutely no control.
Hold up. That's an alarm, kids.
Yeah.
That was not planned. I'm sorry if that pissed you off.
No, I didn't. Man, I never wanted to talk about this since I began this stream, but I suppose it was inevitable. President Trump mentioned video game violence in a speech last week he gave in response to the Florida shooting. I have an excerpt from the speech in which he stated, quote, "I'm hearing more and more people say that the level of violence in video games is really shaping young people's thoughts," end quote. He also mentioned something about a rating system, which, by the way, we already have in place. It's called the ESRB. So, what, we want a rating system on top of the rating system? Good call. But my feelings on this are Trump made a gaffe. Is this really news? What concerns me is how people in the gaming community are acting like they're gonna take our video games away. And it is true. People want to shut down the evil that is video games, but I wouldn't worry too much if I were you, at least based on this. This is something that mentality has been circulating for a while now. Trump's a politician. He's just saying what his constituents want to hear. I highly doubt he's coming for our video games. Right now, they're too busy trying to get rid of the guns. Once the guns go, then I'd say you should start worrying about the video games.
This is the thing, and you already kind of said it. This isn't the first. This is definitely not the first.
Not
rodeo.
even close.
Not even close.
He's not even the first president to say it.
Right. Look, the same thing before anybody freaks out, and that's the thing. It's a scary time. The last 2 weeks, if you have a child, you're horrified. I can completely understand that. I get it. I completely understand.
That's why I kind of waited a while to actually bring this up.
Right.
Because people in their grief, they tend to immediately go right for the knee-jerk reflex. Like, you know, we've got to do something. We got to take action. I'm just so upset right now. I need to do something. But now that things have calmed down just a little bit, let's go ahead and put things back in perspective.
Right. No, but like, again, just I went to college before, you know, ever meeting the man, the myth, the legend, Kieroneus over here, for coding video games. Like, I wanted to do that. I've always loved video games. We actually there was a class about this where it was like blaming video games. Before video games were even a thing, you know what they were blaming? Comic books.
Yep.
Superheroes, where they were sitting there and saying, superheroes are the reason your kids are punching. Superheroes are why there's muggings on the street, because they sit there and show violence. It's not. It really isn't. I know it's a scary time, parents. You know, I'm talking as if there's parents listening to this.
Right.
I hope there are. That'd be kind of cool.
I'm actually glad you brought this up. I wrote an article on this on the Kieroneus TV Facebook page.
What?
Find the link. Yeah.
You write articles? When the hell did this happen?
I try to update the page as regularly as I can. I don't get to it very often. I mean, for one thing, it doesn't get much traffic, so it's like, you know, it's that's whatever. But I did write an article on it. Go ahead and check it out for yourself. I could go and reread it for you, but I basically said everything I've said here. Mm-hmm. People just tend to immediately target the first thing that's in the forefront of their minds, and it's like violent video games. I actually found the reason I wrote the article is because somebody on my Facebook feed decided to post a little illustration of these two parents watching the news, and they're like, guns cause all this trouble, and then like ironically behind them, their little kid is playing a video game, and he's saying, kill them all, as if to say, well, you know, what's really causing it is those violent video games.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, Couchman, you're absolutely right. Before video games, it was TV. Before TV, it was that gosh darn rock music.
Right.
It
came from Satan.
So the devil's drum beat.
Right.
The
devil's.
I was trying to think of something similar to like the devil's lettuce for what they call another thing that I don't like to talk about on this show.
Right.
So yeah, please feel free to peruse the article. It basically sums up everything I've said here. I hardly even consider this news because like it happens every time something like this goes down.
Right.
They go and they blame the violent media. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying like I necessarily approve of the media, but listen, I've been playing violent video games my entire life. Mm-hmm. I've been playing games. Okay, not entire life. Obviously, I wasn't playing games as a fetus.
Came out with an NES in my hand.
That's right.
Ding, 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 ding. The doctor just goes, "Damn."
When I was born, it made the bloop 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 noise. But
the doctor just looked at you and went, "Wah wah wah wah."
Yeah, it's so, and I can safely say I do not have the violent urge to shoot up a school or anything. And listen, it's not like my growing up was sunshine and daisies either.
Right.
I was bullied a lot in school. I was picked on until I finally hit my growth spurt, and that's when everybody sort of backed off. But even then, I still got bullied.
Right.
And on top of that, girls didn't like me. And hey, mayor of Loserville. Nobody really wanted, unless I was willing to get something off a high shelf or throw some kind of ball, nobody had any interest in me whatsoever. I was often just sort of overlooked. And hey, being ignored is another way to really develop a strong resentment for your fellow human beings. Thankfully, I'm over that. Because guess what? I grew up. I started handling my situation like an adult.
Right. I'm gonna say two things, and then, toss it back to you. You do whatever we need to do, because I know I love how everybody loves seeing cartoon Trump on the.
Go ahead and change it back to the state, because I don't want to pay Simpsons royalties.
Okay, but this is the thing. With this, and I'm gonna pick apart this. Look, kids, teens, even adults, right? Mm-hmm. Even if you have certain violent thoughts, it doesn't mean you're a bad person or you're a psychopath. It's just you don't need to sit there and act on it. Believe you me, I've been in jobs where I want to bounce my boss off the wall. Does it mean I physically act on it? No, but you can have those thoughts. Go right ahead. That makes you human. It really does.
If anything, the violent video games are a good way to get that stress out of you.
Yes. No. Oh, absolutely. There's a lot of times where I just go home and I go, the only times I kick up Grand Theft Auto is when I need to blow off steam. And that's just me. That's my own personal type of chill out moment. But this is the other thing. Look, this all happened before with the ERA. ERA. What's the ERA? Right. That's the
ESRB.
rate. ESRB. Thank you. I'm yay.
I wasn't sure.
Yeah. ESRB. Look, where the ESRB, the real thing behind the ESRB was we want to sit there and stop video games, period. They wanted to hurt the sales of video games. What it actually did was make them go crazy popular, because all of a sudden kids now could sit there and say, this is a baby game, this is for teenagers, and the M rating, oh my goodness, that's where the good stuff is. It's the same thing.
I wouldn't say that. Hey, hold on. I'm sorry. I gotta cut you off here.
Okay, go right ahead, because I'm gonna throw your own words back in your mouth.
I don't think the ESRB was made to stop video games.
Absolutely, it was.
No, it was made to quell the. I'm pretty sure. Look, I haven't researched this specific thing. I'm pretty sure it was put in place to shut up all the parents who were bitching about how violent the video games were. Mm-hmm. I don't think it was meant to actually stop video games. It was just it's like it's the same way you put the Surgeon General's warning on a pack of cigarettes and at the same time you don't outlaw cigarettes.
Right. I mean, well, the difference between cigarettes and that, obviously cigarettes
definitely.
Yeah. Okay, I'm not even going to get into that. You're right. We don't need to get into semantics. But even you said that, going more off of my main topic here, if you all of a sudden change the ratings or anything else, or you make there be more ratings, it's not going to change anything. It's going to give creators, it's going to give, anybody sitting there just saying, kids are going to see it and say it's the same thing as movies. We talked about this during, what was it, 2 weeks ago when we had our smoke cast?
That was last week.
That was last week. Right when I said, I was like, I want to make the FET movie a rated R movie, and you sat there and said, we as a society need to sit there and get away from rated R makes it better. You're right. We have to sit there and get off of ratings. If all of a sudden there's something worse, and I know there is something worse than a rating.
Hang on. When I said that, I didn't mean I wanted to get rid of the rating system altogether.
No. The rating system, I believe the ESRB should be there. Needs to be
People
there.
Should know what they're getting what they're in store for.
Absolutely, it does. I'm saying don't add any more. I know there's one. What is it?
Hey,
is it A?
He's not going to add anything. Nothing's. No, there's not going to be in it. Like I said, and this is speculation, but I'm pretty confident in this. He was just saying what America wanted to hear. He's
of
saying what people
course.
wanted to hear to pacify them because, like I said, a nation is grieving as well it should anytime something like this happens. And I do mean anytime. Anytime something like this happens, yeah, it's absolutely necessary to grieve. But now that we've gone through our grieving, at least the rest of us who aren't related to the victims, I would say, it's time to think logically.
Right.
And it's highly illogical to blame the video games because mass shootings were around long before video games even entered the market.
Right.
So I'm sorry, it holds no water and it never will. Speaking of holds no water,
Yay.
you know what I'm such a big fan of? I love seeing it plastered everywhere on my Facebook feed. Couchman.
My golf swing?
Yeah, okay, check this out. We're bringing things back into the lighter. We got the dry, boring, newsy stuff out of the way. We're gonna go into like the fun stuff.
Yeah.
Thank God, I know. Couchman showed me something earlier today. This has nothing to do with what I was about to talk about, but since Couchman reminded me of it, I'm just gonna go ahead and let you in on this. He trolled me with one of those videos where it's like the setup is completely misleading, and it's like a guy getting ready to swing a golf club. Was that actually?
Yeah.
You edited that video?
No, I did not.
Oh, okay.
I wish I did.
Because it looked kind of like you, baseball cap, beard. So it's like he comes up and says, "Hey, want to see my golf swing?" He showed. First of all, in my head, I was like, "No."
Oh yeah, I was just like, he's seeing it. I don't care.
You could see it on my face too.
Yeah.
I think you saw. But you're like, here, you showed it to me, and sure enough, this guy getting ready who looks just like Couchman, getting ready to do a golf swing, and just as he swings, it instantly smash cuts to a shall we say, a woman
Phallic.
getting slapped in the face with a certain member belonging to the male gender.
It has a really nice slap sound effect.
A very nice slap sound effect, yeah. That was how my day started here at KTV Studios. So, thank you so much, Couchman, for sharing that with me. His face is turning so red right now.
No, the worst part is that there are millions like that. Like,
Yeah.
the best one ever was, hey, dude, like, because my buddy will sit there and text me these, and he goes like, hey, dude, did you check out my view of the freaking eclipse? And it was just a phone sitting on the ground, staring straight up at the sun, and then all of a sudden, the male part just comes kind of slowly into frame.
Oh, God.
To cover up the sun.
I'm so glad you didn't show me that one.
Talking about wood.
Speaking, yeah. Thank you, Couchman. I was going to make similar innuendo. According to comic book resources, Baby Groot is not the resurrected form of Groot from the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie, but rather his offspring. That's right. Original Groot is dead, everyone. Weep your tears of sorrow and despair at the loss of this memorable character with only one line of dialogue. In a Twitter post from James Gunn, he stated, "First Groot is dead. Baby Groot is his son." So apparently his father was the real linchpin of the whole movie because Guardians of the Galaxy 2, unlike its predecessor, sucked. That's the only key.
You love that movie.
Oh, I like it. I only put it slightly above, and I mean slightly above, Suicide Squad.
Oh, Lord, it is not that bad.
In as much as I actually enjoyed it the first time, but the second time I didn't. I don't know what it was about the first time around, but the second time I watched it, woof, that was rough. Lots of colors and noise. It was really just, It was just a plastic mobile above your crib.
No, okay, yeah. As you say, a McMarvel movie.
Yeah.
Or a McMovie.
Yeah, Marvel McMovie.
Marvel McMovie. Yeah.
I know it's tempting. I have to stop myself. It's tempting to just say McMarvel. And honestly, it's kind of, don't correct yourself. It's fine to say that, McMarvel.
Okay.
It's because that's more or less what they've become at this point.
Right.
And it's like, take pause, take a breath, Marvel. Release, but I'm interested to hear how you feel about that, Couch Man.
To tell you the honest truth, I actually think that'd be kind of a cool concept. I think it would do a lot for a certain. I think it would do miles for a certain character, and that's Rocket Raccoon. Because all of a sudden, where he was just a d-bag the entire second movie, like you could actually have some sort. Because what he's gonna be, Teen Groot in Infinity Wars.
Oh man, they're gonna do the father daddy thing, aren't they?
But like, I think that would be good for that character.
Oh,
for
that's so lame.
Rocket Raccoon. But this is my thing. So what you're telling me, and again, this is an Earthling talking about this, that Groot was female.
Yeah, I mean, like that's the thing.
And I swear, don't come at me like, oh, they were asexual thing. They just all of them reproduce, whatever.
It's like SpongeBob. He reproduces by budding.
Yeah. But I'm like. So she died in the first movie.
Listen, Groot didn't squirt out a little tree fetus, okay? Excuse me, it was like a sapling, like a cutting from an oak tree.
Yeah, but again, that's not how like. Okay, you want to know? They're plants, right?
Right.
They're trees. You need to sit there and have a seed. It's not even a seed. It's like a chunk of wood. Like Rocket Raccoon just like picks up what looks to be a toothpick.
Yeah.
And chucks that in a pot, and then it grows. So with that being said, you want to know what that isn't? That's I would much rather it not be her, but that's still original Groot because it just reformed itself.
I feel like he did that just to rile people up. Because we know how the internet works. It's a hornet's nest.
Right. But now that he said that, I think that's a better thing.
If you say so. Honestly, I'm not all that concerned with freaking.
I was gonna say, I'm surprised you brought this up of all people. You hate Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, I just wanted an opportunity to say it sucked again.
All right. Let me ask you this: do you like the second soundtrack as much as the first?
See, here's the thing. I feel like giving credit for the soundtrack. I mean, yeah, there's some great songs.
Right.
But I don't want to give that movie credit because there were great songs in the Suicide Squad movie. Doesn't mean I liked it.
Was there?
What? You kidding me? Freaking Bohemian Rhapsody.
Bohemian Rhapsody, which was was a remake by Panic of the Opera. That's not right. Panic at the Disco.
It wasn't the Panic at the Disco version.
You want to bet money?
No, because I don't want to find out that there's a remake of Bohemian Rhapsody by Panic at the Disco. I want to live in that blissful ignorance. Okay.
Okay. I want to bet my next paycheck. You bet me your next paycheck. Come on.
Okay. No.
No, but I like the best part of that, and you're right. You shouldn't be able to say this. But the best part of that movie to me was its soundtrack. And I'm not going to lie, the best part of the first movie to me was its soundtrack. I'm not a huge fan of the Guardians of the Galaxy. Even though they're a great little romp through space, it's just meh.
Yeah, no, that's always been my biggest contention with those movies is like just how everyone. It's why I point to a Marvel bias. It's because really. The movie was not that great. It's just got marketability. It's like with the Minions. You know, the kids love it because they don't care. They just see the adorable raccoon up there is saying swear words and shooting guns. And like,
Right.
oh, that's awesome. You know, it's like, okay, I can understand why a kid's into that. But
Right.
like when full-grown adults are saying that they love it, then I have a problem. It's like, okay, listen. I can understand if a kid who doesn't have a fully developed brain yet is into it. But when a full-grown adult is saying that they like this, it's like, come on, dude. be real with me here. That movie was not that. And here's the thing. I liked the first one well enough.
Right.
It's the second one I hated. The first one was good enough.
Right.
But then people are just sitting there and they won't shut up about it, about how good it was.
The second one?
The first one.
Oh, the first one.
Like way back in the day, and I mentioned this on Loserville. It's like why are people so obsessed with this movie when it was really just in the grand scheme of things okay
Right.
compared to other movies? Because like I'm looking at it as a movie, not as a Guardians of the Galaxy movie.
Here, let me ask you this: which was a better movie, Spaceballs or Guardians of the Galaxy? Because
Wow,
now
that is a fair comparison.
I was just gonna say that's a great comparison, isn't it?
That is a very fair comparison. Wow, points to Couchman. 10 points to Couch and Door.
Noise, noise. Still at negative 13 grand, but you wanna know what? We're crawling our way back.
win.
We're crawling our way back up, people.
Yeah, it's kind of like our viewership.
Right.
But yes,
I'm gonna.
I could go back to. Wait, are we talking Guardians of the Galaxy 1 or 2? 1?
One. Because if anything, 1 is more close to Spaceballs than 2 is.
That is a damn.
I know,
That is a
right?
stumper. That is a real stumper because both have the same level of humor, I would say. But I kind of have a Mel Brooks bias. But I'm trying to ignore that.
Oh, boo!
trying to-
That's half the greatness of that
I
movie.
know. Mel Brooks is a genius. Okay.
I wish I had a sound drive of you. I work for Mel Brooks. Whap.
Yeah. No. I love Mel Brooks. He was a visionary.
You know what? Guardians of the Galaxy 2 was.
Well, to be fair, Spaceballs was not his best work, though.
No. Oh, absolutely not. But you know what Guardians of the Galaxy 2 was?
What?
Spaceball 2. The search,
Search
for more money.
Yes.
You want to know what? I love all three of them now. Now they're all just connected
If you think
to
of
me.
it as a trilogy,
Trilogy.
suddenly
It's great.
It all makes sense. Couch man, you're a genius.
I've done it again.
Damn, 100 points to Couch and Door. No, yeah, screw it. 13,000 points.
Woohoo!
You're back on top.
Back on top.
You
A
managed to
clean
be-
zero.
You managed to make Guardians of the Galaxy 2 appeal to me in some small way.
You want to know what? Now, I know we might have plans on Friday. Mm-hmm. I think we got to do that. I think we got to watch Spaceballs, Guardians of the Galaxy, and then Guardians of the Galaxy 2. See if it holds up.
Through the frame of as if they were a trilogy. So would that make Guardians of the Galaxy? Because I'm thinking Guardians of the Galaxy 1 is like the prequel.
Right.
I want to try to link these together. So yeah, let's. But yeah, we got to be hammered first.
Well, duh.
And that's the other thing. That's another reason why I didn't like Suicide Squad. Just throwing another jab in there, going for that low hanging fruit. The reason I didn't like Suicide Squad is because I was drunk and I still didn't have a good time.
Oh.
So it's
That's hard to do.
yeah. It was the same. It was the same. At least with Wonder Woman, I could sort of fade in and out and get a chuckle here and there. But Suicide Squad, just straight up, I was negative the whole time, in spite of being drunk.
Right.
I love doing that. By the way, I pregame for movies that I know I'm not going to like.
Well, not only that, to tell you the honest truth, I almost like, and this is why I think a lot of people, like, when they sit there and say, hey, the movie theater experience will die eventually, I don't think it will, especially if, and you see certain theaters evolve, if the theater serves alcohol and has a comfy chair. Because I'll pay $20 plus, a few extra to go get a few cocktails in me and go watch a really bad movie. Like, the only way I'm ever going to watch any 50 Shades of Grey movie is if I'm destroyed and I walk into a theater.
I'll say this for 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh my God, have you seen?
No, I haven't. No, oh God.
I was gonna say, I was like, this is a new side of you. I did not know.
I'd have to be drunk, yes, but I'd also have to be a girl. There'd have to be a girl there who gets who gets with me, who gets really excited, shall we say, by the prospect of it.
If we hit 100 subscribers, me and him will watch 50 Shades of Grey together, and we'll live stream our reactions.
Like, we're not going to... Yeah, no, this is not a reaction channel, but...
No.
And even if I was going to become a reaction channel, I sure as hell wouldn't start with 50 Shades of Grey.
Right. I just wanted to hear your reaction to that.
You got a reaction of what my reaction
would be.
Speaking of React, Couchman, you were pretty worked up over the trailer regarding a game featuring our favorite Spartan.
Right, our favorite Spartan.
Halo.
Yeah, well... Oh, I hate you so much. I hate you with a downright passion now. I don't even want to do this anymore.
Yeah, I deserve it.
Yeah. Oh, no. God of War 4, right?
God of War 4, the dad beard of Doom.
Yeah, that's half the reason I'm super excited for it. Kratos looks amazing with a beard. God, look at this dad, like, buff bod he has. But, that's neither here or there. I was sitting there, and this has bugged me. Because this trailer... Well, okay. The announcement of this game came out in 2014. Like, hey, God of War studio working on a new thing. Aren't we all excited? Not until this past... It was this past week we finally got a release date of April 20th, which you just saw on the screen and you're seeing right now. I feel like I've been seeing this for 5 freaking years.
Yeah,
the same trailer, the same this, the same that.
I thought it was out already, to be honest.
Right.
Because like, here's the thing. I don't care about God of War anymore.
Anymore?
Yeah, no, I thought it was cool the first and second time I played it. Mm-hmm. But then I thought it's now it's just kind of... I don't know what it is, because like I'm the kind of guy who could play the same game over and over.
Right.
But when like a series does the same thing over and over, and admittedly, Legend of Zelda kind of does that to a certain extent, and I still love it. Something about God of War, because I guess because I had heard a lot of my friends saying that this was so cool, and they would refer to any other game like it as a God of War clone, which I always felt was unfair, because even God of War itself is kind of a clone of something else.
Well, it's, to me, well, what is it a clone of to you?
That being either Onimusha or Devil May Cry.
Okay, I can see Devil May Cry. To me, it's almost...
The only way it differs...
It's almost Zelda-ish.
No, come on. It's not even close to Zelda.
It's a linear story with a few hack and slash moments.
Well, right.
Heavily aimed on action, and it's in a...
Well, Zelda's more based on puzzle solving.
Yeah, that's really the only thing that it doesn't have. But even the first one had a lot of puzzle solving. Now that I really think about it,
where it differentiates is the quick time events.
Yeah.
And as far as being like Zelda, because like God of War is much more linear than Zelda is.
Yes.
Because there are some Zelda games, even before Breath of the Wild, where you can literally you don't have to do the dungeons in any particular order.
Right.
Whereas with God of War, you would just go from one event to the next, one chapter to the next, without an overworld to explore. At least the first and second one.
Right. This is my question to you. This game was announced in 2014. I think there was a slight thought in my mind when I first heard this, like, oh my God, this is going to be a release title with the PS4. Obviously, that didn't happen. I'm pretty sure they wanted this to be a release title for the PS Pro. That didn't happen. It's coming out April 4th, and we just got that news last week where we take a game like the new Spider-Man game coming out, which is an open world game, high octane graphics to a point where I think it's sinful of what I'm looking at. Why did this take 4 years? Why is this taking 4 years?
I don't know, but honestly, if I were a fan of God of War, I would definitely be like, oh man, I hope it comes out soon. But at the same time, I'd rather they take their time and make it good, because we all know what happens when a company rushes out a game before it's even finished yet. We've got to sit there and sit through update after update.
Okay, let me ask you that. Being 4 years in the making, and even more so before that and everything else, what if you were a fan, and you just kind of already answered it, how much are you expecting this game to be nearly perfect? It's been pushed back, I want to say 2 times.
I would want it to fulfill my expectations as to what a God of War game should be. And that would be a game that with a lot of violence.
Right.
Maybe a sex game thrown in for good measure. And you could work from there. Really.
Right.
The point I think is to add on, not subtract and then shove something else in. Like one of the things that hacked me off a lot about Mass Effect was in the first one, you had some features like customizable ammunition and weapon parts. And the second one, they took that out entirely. They also had world exploration where you could go down and explore the worlds. And I thought that was cool, even if it was just a procedurally generated landscape that was really bland, flat, and featureless. It was still sort of cool. It was a cool concept, but then they took it out of the second one entirely. Right. It's like, don't take it out, improve it. Right.
I mean, they brought at least the exploring part in Andromeda back, but
okay. I thought you were gonna mention part 2 where they had DLC where you're flying this little ship around. It's like, no, that hardly makes up for it.
No.
But yeah, if I were a fan, I would want it to take everything that was good about the first 2, and I know there was a third one that I never got to play, and just build from there.
Right.
That would be the time to keep what works and then maybe add a new feature to it. That's why I keep coming back to Zelda, because that's what they do. They keep the working formula, but they add to it. They add something new. It's like pizza flavored potato chips. It's like, whoa, crazy, wild, cool. I'll buy a bag.
How 90s of you.
Yeah, I know. Everything was pizza flavored in the 90s.
Yeah. Everything that was supposed to... It's a chip, but it tastes like a taco. Oh, my God.
It's a chip, but it tastes like a taco.
There goes my brain, right? It just pooed itself.
We were easy to entertain.
Right. 90s.
Couple of rocks, bang them together, and we're good.
Right. Let me ask you this. Now, throughout this entire 4 years, you have not seen a trailer or anything else without Kratos and what everyone is sitting there and saying is his son.
Right.
Like, I feel, let's harken back to Fallout 4 with the dog. Let's harken back to Oh my goodness, what The Last of Us, with the girl and then whomever else. That game really pissed me off. I mean, can that for adding on? Do you think adding on a AI like partner be okay? Do you think that's enough to be like, okay, cool, thanks for adding an AI, because that's what I've wanted. I want you to make me feel a little less badass and have a partner with me. Like I'm
glad you asked that, because if there is one thing that's always irked me about video games, and this includes the Fallout and Elder Scrolls games, it's an AI partner. I hate getting saddled with a partner in my game, because it's so annoying, especially in games like Fallout and Elder Scrolls, because they'll block the doorways, they will constantly get into trouble, they'll give away your position.
Yeah.
But also, it's just the notion that you need somebody to hold your hand through the whole thing. It's like, no, thank you, I'm fine. I can piece this together on my own. Contrary to what you might believe about the nuances of your complex narrative, I can figure it out. Give me just a little more credit. I don't need that human element. Just let me be a wandering badass going through and shooting and stabbing and whatever.
Right.
But that's just me. I don't know. Do you want there to be an AI partner in it?
I think there's great examples of good AI. I also think there's horrible examples of AI. You brought up Fallout 4. I actually think that's a great example of AI. Yes, and I will say this. Yes, when you have them with you, oh God, they're useless. They're freaking useless. It is. They're in front of you, and it's horrible. The only useful one might be Dogmeat.
Dogmeat is the only one who comes close to being useful, and he's a pain in the butt because he'll sit there and wander off ahead of you, and he'll block doorways, or he'll push you into an enemy when you're trying to sneak.
But this is what I was gonna say with Dogmeat. The only reason he's useful is because you can get that freaking freeze gun at the beginning of with that bug, where you can tell him like, hey, go look over there, go look over there, go look over there, go look over there. If you do it enough, he's just gonna be like, ooh, I found this, and here's the gun. Like, you can get that as soon as you find Dogmeat. So you can go out within the first 15 minutes and get a world-breaking gun.
Well, okay, you're talking about a bug versus the vanilla game itself.
Right.
It's like I shouldn't have to rely on a bug to make your game good.
Exactly, and I'm glad you pointed that out. The only reason I think this is a good example of good AI is that you can sit there and tell them, no, you're going to stay at my settlement, and you're going to be the shopkeeper.
Well, that's the thing.
I think that's a great example, because you can have it.
You can't really make them be the shopkeeper, because you can't. They'll just want to interact with you normally.
Right.
But that's splitting hairs. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Well, the problem is like your AI. If you're gonna force an AI into my gameplay, the least you could do is make them competent. You can make it so that instead of them barring the doorway, you could walk through them. Or look, I know the nerds out there are gonna be like, that doesn't make any sense. Typing up those angry emails, but who cares? Really, what's important is am I having a good time? And I'm definitely not having a good time when I'm saddled with a useless millstone around my neck of an AI character. And hopefully, I would hope that they wouldn't do this in the God of War game.
Booker catch. Booker catch. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
BioShock Infinite. The chick, the AI chick that just sits there, and that's just like her only interaction she'll have with you, and she'll chuck you like money, bullets, and everything else, and that's their thought of a great AI. Like, that to me drives me nuts, just like you were saying. I know I annoyed the living piss out of you there, but I was like, I'm just sitting there going, that's a great example of what you're saying.
Oh my God.
Booker
Yeah.
catch.
Well, hey, speaking of great AI, what do you say we take a real quick break?
Ooh.
And when we come back, we've got more wonderful things in store for you. Just stay tuned. Consult your physician. If a dizzying state of euphoria lasts longer than 3 hours, it is Kieroneus TV. We are back. It is I, your host, Kieroneus, and villainy. Prepare to take a seat. It's Couchman.
I'm still quite confused. Am I a villain or a hero?
You're supposed to be a hero, but
No.
yeah, that didn't pan out the way I wanted it to. Hey, we all have dreams, and obviously mine aren't going to be. My dreams of a couch-themed superhero just aren't meant to be.
Right.
By day, mild-mannered nudist. By night, the Couchman.
I forgot I'm a nudist.
The town nudist.
Sometimes I feel like you just created me. I'm one of your crappy.
Yeah, you're one of my cringy OCs.
Oh no, did I summon it?
Yes.
No! Why would I do it? It's like Beetlejuice, but you only gotta say it once.
It's like Pee-wee's Playhouse when you say the word of the day.
Oh no.
So what do you say? What do you say, Couchman?
Never ever.
As soon as you cue up our OC intro.
Never.
The cringiest OC?
All right, here are the rules, ladies and gentlemen. I come up with two of the most ghastly, appalling OCs that I can possibly think of, and I pit them in a competition with one another. It is up to the Couchman to decide which one is worse. For those of you playing at home, here are the rules. I start with the name, their backstory, their special abilities, and who they're shipped with.
Oh, I always forget about the shipping.
You gotta get some culture in your Couchman. You gotta read up on those OCs. They're always shipped with someone, and it's always bad.
Ugh.
It's always just like a terrible, bad, trying to drink away the memory kind of stuff.
I was gonna say last time wasn't that bad.
No, yeah, I know. You actually ended up liking my OCs, damn it.
Yeah.
Particularly the pedestrian, who
Yeah,
you
the
deemed to
pedestrian
be
was
the least cringy of the two.
Well, yeah, no, he was fantastic. Him and Dennis Howlett?
Wienerman. Yeah, Dennis Howlett.
He was great too. That wheezy bastard.
Well, what do you say? We stop with our beating about the bush and get down to it. Here we go. Contestant number 1. I must be on a superhero kick, which is why I decided to make these two particular characters. And I will remind the audience, it took me all of 3 seconds to come up with them. Contestant number 1, Twist Tie Girl. After a horrible industrial accident, Tina Winston discovered she had the ability to create an infinite number of twist ties. Now she is a crime-fighting vigilante that leaves villainy in a twist. Her special abilities include, she is quick, she is agile, and as I said before, can generate an infinite number of twist ties at will, and she uses them with deadly proficiency.
Sounds sexy.
Oh yeah. She's shipped with her. This is a little special here. She enjoys a love-hate relationship with her arch nemesis, the Detangler.
I am pretty sure I already know his backstory. Just tell me the Detangler's the other OC.
No, surprisingly.
Oh, dang
The
it.
Detangler, that's just like a whole different tangent all in and of itself. I'll probably showcase him next time when I get around to villains. Actually, it should have been the Detangler, because this next OC, I think, is going to be the winner this time around of who's the cringiest OC. Even I hate myself for coming up with this one. Cannon Crotch.
What? What's with the super sexy heroes? Cannon Crotch.
Wait till you get a load of his story. After a terrible mechanical bull accident, former adult movie star Touch McCrotch was left permanently crippled. When approached by a shadowy figure, he received a below-the-belt augmentation that gives him an edge in pelvic-based warfare. Cannon crotch. He's gonna blow a wad of justice. His special abilities are, he is highly skilled in the martial and tantric arts. Also, he has a huge cannon where his crotch used to be. It fires long-range Scud missiles that are generated using a complex testosterone-based manufacturing system. I really went all out on this one.
I was going to say, you enjoyed this one, didn't you?
I didn't. I actually hated myself for coming up with this. Shipped with, in this case, no one, because no one is strong enough to handle cannon crotch.
he's basically Superman.
He's just too much man. Yeah, essentially. Well, I mean, it's a freaking cannon. No one's gonna get on that. So now it's down to a couch man. Which of these two characters is the most ghastly and awful? Please say cannon crotch.
You see, this is okay. This is truly the problem with this. Well, there's a few problems with everything, but
only a few.
let's tackle cannon crotch as best as we can here, folks. This actually reminds me of it was a He-Man action figure where it was like cannon belt or whatever.
Oh my god.
And it was a cannon. Like, so that's all I'm thinking about. I'm like, I know exactly what this dude looks like.
Well, like I said, it's below the belt region.
Well, yeah, no. Safety tie girl or whatever. What was her name?
Twist tie girl.
Twist tie girl.
She's kind of like got all the twist ties wrapped around her body. That's kind of that's what I'm envisioning her costume being like.
What is with all this sexiness coming out of Cringy today? Oh.
Well, usually the cringiest ones are overly sexual. So that's kind of the frame of mind I got to be in.
Okay. I'm not gonna tackle any problems. What I will say this: the cringiest is Cannon Crotch Man. It is. He's the cringiest, but he is also the best, and here's why. He is the best. He is the best because you put as little as thought as you saying you did. His backstory is 1,000 times cooler than a lot of heroes I already know, right? An adult film star. Probably had to retire because, he probably turned
because of the
27.
Because of the thing with the mechanical bull.
Well, with the thing with the mechanical bull, that he can't find love because of this.
All right, that gives his character conflict.
There's so much, you put a lot of thought into Cannon Crotch.
I did, I swear.
It's actually, you want to know what? I want to see, and don't sit there and pour, that's already a superhero. His name's Orgasmo. Okay, I get it. That was from the guys who did South Park. Shut up.
Is that a thing? Is that?
Oh my God, you've never seen Orgasmo?
No, I haven't.
Oh, if you, being the connoisseur of cringy OCs that you are, you need to watch Orgasmo.
Okay. Well, I mean, you said it was the South Park guys. That pretty much that was the sell.
Oh, it's the South Park guys. I want to say first attempt at a movie.
Oh, okay. No, I think it was Cannibal, the Cannibal musical. I think that was their first.
Oh, you might be right.
And that movie was hilarious, by the way.
It's a Spadoinkle day. The skies are blue.
And all
those things are
green. My heart's as full as a baked potato.
We are just a bunch of effing losers, aren't we?
Yep.
Oh, we're just the best.
That's why it gives me absolutely no misery. I'm not in the least bit sorry to learn that this character's already been done. That means the pressure's off of me.
Right, but no, but this is the thing. Safety tie girl.
Yeah.
Is lame.
Why's she lame?
Because really,
wait a minute.
Might as well,
of course she's lame. Excuse me.
This is the thing. both of these are very in the vein of like a Tick-esque world where superheroes are crazy and out of control and everything else. I almost feel like where Zip Tie Girl,
Twist tie. Zip tie would have been good too.
is oh my goodness, I was thinking you were saying that twist ties are
The
like
things
the
that-
wires.
Yeah,
Just
the things you find at the
that's
end of
too
bread
sexual.
loaves. The things you find at the end of bread loaves. Yeah.
You somehow made twist tie girl more sexual than an ex porn star
How is that?
with a cannon for a crotch.
How is that more sexual?
Just imagine a twist tie suit just
Oh, well,
made of nothing but twist tie. Just an outfit made nothing of twist tie
Right.
on a female superhero
Yes,
who is technically, their proportions are very.
Mm-hmm.
That is more sexual than a dude with a cannon for a crotch.
That's strange. I'm not sure I'm following the same logic, but okay. That doesn't affect your judgment any, though,
Have
does
you?
it?
Oh, dude. You know what bondage is, right?
Yes, I do. Unfortunately, I've
Because
met the internet.
that just sounds
Oh.
like the cheapest bondage thing I've ever heard in my. Like they went to a grocery store and just stole a whole bunch of fruit and vegetable zip ties. I keep on calling them zip ties. Twisty ties. And just went home and was like, all right, we can use this for bondage today. Like, oh, man.
I feel like that's a stretch, honestly. I don't see anybody saying, "Oh yeah, nothing like them twist ties." But no, like I said, the outfit I have that I've envisioned for her, yeah, it's completely sexy. I mean, nothing sells without a little sex added to
Okay,
it.
what's the cannon crotch
Well, he's just like
costume?
he's got the cannon. He's got like a silk shirt that's always unbuttoned all the time.
Right.
He's just got like
Hold
almost
on,
like
right there,
mechanical
you-
legs. It's funny that you brought up mechanical legs earlier in the show because that's sort of what it's sort of like. He's like his bottom half is a tank, and the cannon is coming.
He's so much cooler now. I don't even think he's cringy anymore.
That's not cool. That is not cool.
It's a freaking twist tie. I revoke my thought. A twist tie lady's horrible. She's totally more cringy. You said a silk shirt. Congratulations, your character already has more clothing than zip tie woman.
Well, like it covers all the naughty bits. It's just form fitting.
But he doesn't have any naughty bits to cover. His is a cannon, and I don't mean like, oh, hey Susie.
His Schwanstucker is a cannon.
Is a cannon. It is physically just a tube jutting out of his groin region. That's not sexy. That's why he isn't tripping over babes anymore.
Right. Well, like I said, no, they're totally into it, but they just can't handle the cannon part.
See, now you're sitting there and saying he has a heart of gold because
No,
he
I
doesn't
never
want to
said
hurt a
that.
chick.
I never said that. I just said that the chicks are into him.
No, the chicks are into him, but he is self-aware enough to sit there
He's-
and say,
look,
"I
he's-
don't want to hurt you, therefore we can never be a thing." You want to know what? That is a comic book I want to read.
Well, no, they just won't go. They won't go for it because once they find out that's all him, it's over.
So believe you me, I know some chicks I'd be way into that.
I mean, yeah, but what? You know what? It just doesn't bear getting into. I don't know why I'm trying to defend Twist Tie Girl. Honestly, I guess
I
because
kind of enjoy it. I truly feel like she is the dirtier. I
actually
think
like
she's
her
the more
more.
sexual, the dirtier, and the most cringy. I think crotch cannon man is fantastic.
Wow, because I hate Crotch Cannon Man. I like Twist Tie Girl, to be honest. Because like I do like female characters, and I actually made one And I'm kind of proud of her.
Over-sexualized?
She's not over-sexualized.
You just said it was an over-sexualization
Listen.
of her outfit.
Listen, when did I say that? What did I say?
You said.
Oh, well, yeah, I said it was sexy. I didn't say it was
was-
over-sexualized.
It's covering all the naughty bits. That's basically all you said.
Picture something kind of like the outfit that Dagger wears, except it's made of twist ties. You know, Cloak and Dagger.
Yeah.
Picture something like that.
Oh.
Or Emma Frost.
Oh, I'm really hitting myself now because I just realized something.
What?
You mentioned Cloak and Dagger.
Yeah.
You know they're coming out with a show.
Yeah, I do know that. I just don't care.
Oh, okay, good. I'm glad I didn't waste the time of getting that trailer.
It's okay.
Good.
I know literally nothing about Cloak and Dagger. That's really
And
the
they're
only reason.
they're a weird pick to say, hey, we're gonna try this.
But like that's kind of cool because then you could probably just be as over the top as you want to and nobody's gonna care.
Right.
That actually, honestly, that intrigues me a little bit. That actually
So
kind of
wait,
makes
did you just talk yourself into wanting to see Cloak and Dagger the show?
Yeah.
Huh,
Because
interesting.
honestly, it's like when it's something that nobody really cares about, it can be more experimental and wild, and nobody's gonna criticize it. The problem is that it'll probably get canceled after a season if it can't generate enough interest.
I'm not gonna lie, I got really lost in your beard.
Have I become that boring?
No.
No.
I'm sitting there just going like, wow, you're definitely growing that beard. That's looking good.
I hate it, honestly.
What, you seriously hate it?
There are days when I wake up and like, it doesn't look too bad. And there are days when I look at it, it's like, God, you're disgusting.
Dude, I think you look great.
I know, and like, you're not the only one. I've been getting a lot of compliments on it.
And in talking about looking great, all of you fools can figure out what he looks like if we hit the 80 followers. We're what, 4 away?
We're 3 away.
3 away?
Yeah, 3 more followers, and we will do the beard reveal.
The beard reveal.
Thank you for bringing that up, Couchman. Actually, I got so caught up in just how it's like in Rick and Morty where Rick's trying to defend his pancreas Pirates of the Pancreas ride. That's the Twist Tie Girl is my Pirates of the Pancreas.
Look, I'm really planting my flag in this one, guys.
I had to campaign hard for this one. Well, hello there, Landed. Landed.
Hey.
Thank you for joining the stream. Unfortunately you missed our Who's the Cringiest OC game, but the final result was you said Cannon Crotch was the cringiest, right?
No.
Right.
It's Safety Twist, gal.
You can't even say her name right.
Because she's a whore. She's a cringy OC that should never be able to see the lick of a page or a TV screen.
You know,
Cannon Crotch, man, has a great backstory and has, actual depth.
what's an OC? Okay, I'm glad you asked. Every Tuesday we do a podcast, and when I can make it happen, we play a game called Who's the Cringiest OC? And what I do is I make 2 characters who are absolutely... Sorry if that's a stupid question. I'm behind the time. Oh, no, that's okay. I'm more than happy to elaborate. It's the cringiest OC is my baby. I'm proud of it. So
Yeah, you're just asking him to talk more. So
yeah, I'm the annoying guy who breaks out the pictures of his kids and shows them to everybody.
Oh.
Yeah.
And this is Twist Tie Girl.
Yes. See, thing is I trot out 2 characters that I made up based on my experiences perusing the toxic waste dump of fanfiction.net and what have you. Like there are some stories in there that are decent, but those aren't the ones that I'm drawing the inspiration from. I'm drawing the really awful ones, the ones that just go out of their way to overly sexualize their characters and just make it completely awful and unbearable to read. And that's what I do. I come up with two characters, and I have Couchman here decide which of these two characters is the worst.
Why don't you reread the two characters?
You know what, Landon? Just for you, I'm going to go ahead and read off these characters. The rules for who's the cringiest OC is I introduce the character by their name, I give their backstory, and I talk about their special abilities, and then I go into who they're shipped with. Yes. And by the way, if you have an OC of your own that you'd like to submit, I'd be more than happy to read it here. That would take some pressure off of me. But first up is Twist Tie Girl. And, I'll be more than happy to reread her backstory. After a horrible industrial accident, Tina Winston discovered she had the ability to create an infinite number of twist ties. Now she is a crime-fighting vigilante that leaves villainy in a twist. Original content. Original character. Like if you say what was that animation channel where they were like, oh no, I'm my own original character, Blonick the Hedgehog.
What? Are you asking me, or because now you're over my head?
I am asking you, but obviously you haven't heard of it.
No idea.
I wish I could remember. They're a good channel. They got some pretty entertaining animations. Her special abilities include she's quick and agile and can generate an infinite number of twist ties at will, and she can use them with deadly proficiency. She's shipped with, get this, she enjoys a love-hate relationship with her arch nemesis, the Detangler. The second OC is Cannon Crotch. And you know what? I hate him so much.
No, you can't do this. You can't sit there and crap on this character without crapping on Twist Tie Gal.
Okay, look.
So sit there and tell what Cannon Crotch is.
All right, Couchman. All right. I know you like Cannon Crotch.
I love Cannon Crotch. I want that on a shirt.
You like Twist Tie Girl? Thank you, Landon. Oh no, Cannon Crotch. Oh no.
You see? There we go. This person knows what's up.
After a terrible mechanical bull accident, former adult movie star Touch McCrotch was left permanently crippled. When approached by a shadowy figure, he received a below-the-belt augmentation that gives him an edge in pelvic-based warfare. Cannon Crotch, he's gonna blow a wad of justice. His special abilities. He's highly skilled in the martial and tantric arts. Also, he has a huge cannon where his crotch used to be. It fires long-range Scud missiles that are generated using a complex, testosterone-based manufacturing system. In short, his juice generates more missiles. He's not shipped with anybody because no one is strong enough to handle the Cannon Crotch. I left it to Couchman to decide which of these two characters was the cringiest. And at first he was going to say Cannon Crotch, but when he asked me more questions about him, had me explain it to him better, he said Twist Tie Girl was the cringiest.
Because Twist Tie Girl is more sexual.
More sexual than a guy whose ability is literally having a ding-dong that fires missiles.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Because of the way you explain the outfit. Because when it comes down to it, Twist Tie Girl in Kieroneus's, thought here is completely clothed by twist ties.
Right.
All the naughty bits are covered and everything else, very form-fitting. Cannon Crotch has a silk shirt. You can put period right after that, and he's already less naked than that chick.
No, like he's literally naked from the waist from the
But
waist
you
down.
said he had like robot legs. It doesn't count. That's like
But that's him now. That's a part of his body.
Well, then, frickin' we should put an R rating on any Daffy Duck cartoon.
Yeah, I've been campaigning for that for years.
He's too damn sexy.
Okay. The outfit for Twist Tie Girl, envision something. I wish I had an illustration of her, but unfortunately I can't draw.
Here's a stick figure.
The outfit I envisioned for her, it kind of like a mummy. She's sort of like a sexy mummy. She's mummified by the twist ties.
You already used the term sexy.
So what?
It's not. Cannon Crotch Man isn't sexy.
Well, maybe not to
He's
you
a
or me.
monster. He's basically a sidebar.
Hey, and you know what? Landon's with me. That sounds really cool. You see,
I'm not saying that's
you
not
yourself,
cool.
you yourself admitted that you yourself admitted that Cannon Crotch, there would be some women who are into that.
Oh yeah, totally.
So what I'm saying is maybe not to you or me, but to certain women, Cannon Crotch is sexy.
Right, but a chick who literally has nothing but, twist ties all around
But like it's
her
not
body.
it's,
There's no, straight male that's gonna sit there and say, yeah, that's not sexy.
That's not well. Like I said, it's not nothing. It's formed to the
It's
point.
zero
of being
pieces of clothing.
It's formed to the point of being like clothing.
It's like clothing. It isn't clothing. She is naked.
This is a stupid argument over such an intangible, extremely subjective things. You guys have got me hooked so far. Landed. Follow my channel. There is plenty more where that came from.
I was gonna say and this is the thing. You thought the next segment was gonna be the best part. I'm telling you right now, it's not gonna be better than this.
No, yeah. There's. I got plenty more where that came from. We do this every week. With the yay! All right. We've just got 2 more, Couchman.
2 more until the sexy beard reveal.
2 more to the beard reveal.
Yep.
Which, incidentally, I only grew because a female suggested that I do so, and that's pretty much the only advice.
And her name was Twist Tie Gal.
Twist Tie Girl. I'm doing it all for you, Twist Tie Girl. Well, thank you, Landon. That's what we're going for. That's exactly what we're going for.
This is just nuts.
Which voice? because yeah, I love me some Couchman voice.
Oh,
I fall asleep
it's horrible.
to it.
Yeah. It's really weird. He has me he rents me out, and I just sit right next to his bed in his ear, just saying, "Let me go home. Let me go home. Let me go home."
Twist Tie Girl, putting villainy in a twist. And she's got a cool catchphrase.
She's the worst.
You're the worst.
A blow a load of justice is 1,000 times better. Oh.
Let me go home. Let me go home.
Oh, this is great. We could go on for hours
could.
on this. We gotta get to the other thing.
Yes, actually, moving on to Cringiest OC, which I consider to be a rousing success.
Congratulations, you.
I'm still
I'm
hashtag
100% behind it.
hashtag Twist Tie Girl. Hashtag
No.
Twist Tie Girl. Make it trending.
Make it trend.
Tell your friends,
What the
Landon.
hell is this?
I feel like I walked into my first year of law school and my classmates are trolling the professor while trying to demonstrate the Socratic method. Oh man, that's good, Landon.
Everything he just typed right there is so far over my head, but then I'm like, yeah, we bicker a lot.
Yeah, no, it's where you pick apart. It's where you pick apart an argument. I'm not fully versed in that term,
Right.
Landon, but I have heard it before. The Socratic method. I'm gonna go ahead and search it now.
I was gonna say, I was like, I hope you know he can hear you typing.
Yeah, I know. I'm not gonna pretend like that's not happening.
Right. Wait, did you fix your computer?
No, method of reasoning
Oh.
means a means developed by Socrates of arriving at the truth by continually questioning, obtaining answers. Yeah, okay, yeah, and criticizing the answers. Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I thought. That's what I thought all along, of course. But on with the show,
Right.
Landon. It's no, this is a delight. We love doing this. I was going to ask you, Couchman, and of course, by extension, ask myself, what you were actually talking earlier on today about open world games.
Right.
And I wanted to ask you, what would be your ideal open world game? Because like there's all kinds of them out there right now. I mean, you've got your Minecrafts, you got your Fallouts, you got your freaking my brain farted there. Elder Scrolls. You know, you've got all that floating around out there, but at some point you come to a point where it's like, well, this is great, but I feel like this could be something. I feel like it could be better if. So I figured now would be a good time to sort of get that out there, what we want.
Okay. Before we go too far into this, I do want to say this. I am an open world game whore.
Me too.
If you just sit there and say, hey, this thing is an open world game, it's a sandbox game, boom, you caught me, and I'm in your web. Please be semi-good.
You're in D-Way?
Yeah. Show me the way to your game. But believe you me, everything going here will make some sense. I am about to say something that I think is 100% true. The last decade, name the most important games that came out. You have games like Minecraft. You have games like Skyrim. You have games like Red Dead Redemption. You have games like Fallout 3, 4, whichever one you want to sit there and say.
New Vegas.
I'm trying to think of another one, but like those four pop out to me so much. And they all have one thing in common. They're all open world sandbox games.
Yes, indeed.
So I think where, it started from going left to right on a screen with Mario. It has opened up to this. I think this is, fantastic. I love open world games, and that's the reason why I'm an open world whore. I'm not going to lie. I actually think, and I haven't played it yet, and I know you sat there and kind of laughed at it during our little slideshow here. I think the perfect open world game already exists.
That being?
VR chat.
Oh.
Don't me.
I don't. Okay, I'm only saying it that way. And by the way, Landon, yes, Red Dead is an excellent game, and so is Breath of the Wild. But
Breath of the Wild was the last one I was thinking.
Yeah, no.
Thank you, Landon.
VR chat, you might have a point there to a certain extent. I don't really want, personally, like this is. It's fine that everyone has their diverse opinions, but this is just about us. Personally, I don't want it that open. I feel like VR chat is just a little too open.
Right.
I like a little of a framework in place, a little less anarchy, a little more structure.
Okay.
To that end, I have a list of some things that I would like to see in my ideal open world game. For example, Fallout. I mean, I love me some Fallout, so I'm just going to go ahead and make a list of things that I would want to see in a Fallout game.
Yeah.
For example, 1, keep everything mostly the same. I've said this about other games like God of War, like we were talking about earlier, but also very much for this, because so far, what you've got, I love it. Is it perfect? No. But that's the best part. You can build on that. Build on it, keep what works, and add more onto that. Just like I said with like the Legend of Zelda games. Next up, I want to be unattached. No kid, no revenge story, no waifu to avenge, no husbando to avenge. Just all straight up, just like clean slate. Definitely, I would say you emerge from a vault and that's it. Kind of like what we saw in Breath of the Wild. It's very, very much like that, except you don't have a princess to save. What should happen is like you should forge your own story, and obviously there would be like a set type of quests for you to do with their own story arcs, and that would I think be your story. It's it doesn't have to follow that. It doesn't have to have that, because really, as much as I loved Fallout 4, I did kind of turn my nose up at having to be saddled with a kid right from the get-go. A lot of people had that problem, as a matter of fact. Another thing, I would love it if like you just come out of your vault, and like I would think that like your first motivation would be to find more vaults. Like maybe yours exploded or something and you had to leave it, but like you don't know what's going on in the surface world, so to hell with that. I'm gonna find another vault to crawl into. So make a lot of vaults, because that's a very interesting element of the Fallout universe. I love building my settlements. I know a lot of people don't, but again, this is just my personal list. However, I do have one thing: don't restrict the build capabilities. Don't make it part of the level tree. By the way, Couchman, feel free to. I know I'm sort of hogging the podium here, but feel free to chime in.
No, it's all good. I'm gonna let you. There's a few things I'm gonna pick apart against this,
okay.
But go right ahead.
All right, vehicles, please. You know, I know that you have certain graphical limitations, but even in a game like what is it called? Sorry, again, brain farted. 7 Days to Die. You get a moped to drive around on. And yeah, less Preston Garvey style quest. That's one that I'm going to tack on there. The villagers don't talk unless you would talk to them, because it is so annoying having them start piping up when you just walk by them. Like, you don't even prompt them to speak, but they just start talking. And you're trying to avoid more quests. But that's what I would want from a Fallout. Now, I have something on an Elder Scrolls style game, but Couchman, I'm going to let you make your point first.
Okay, I love how you asked me, hey, basically you came in and you were like, hey, design an open world game for me. And I was like, man, that's a really hard thing to do. I don't know. And you came in and you're like, well, first off, it'd be Fallout 5. That's what you're just writing Fallout 5, which is fine. I mean, if that's seriously, to your point, the best open world sandbox game, that's great. But I mean, wow. The issue with some of the Fallout thing, it's not enough. And I'm not saying like the physical environment, it's hilly, there's a lot of dips, valleys, and there's mountains and whatever, but there's not a lot of like Y-axis. And even though you say vehicles, like I don't think like vehicles of a jet, a plane or something like that. And yes, you go up to that blimp thing with the Brotherhood of Steels, which I always blow the F up because screw those guys.
Okay, hold on. First, I got to acknowledge, we are honored to have in our presence Tasty1 2000. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hey.
Sorry. Go ahead and continue.
No problem. But actually, what this harkens back to, this is the Tasty, right? This is Tasty who we were watching beforehand, correct?
Yes.
Okay, she was playing a fantastic open world game, Grand Theft Auto 5, that has Y and X axis out the wazoo. It's a giant map, and you can physically do whatever you want. I think that's kind of where you need to be. But when you're going to sit there and also say, hey, there's going to be no storyline, or there's going to be a very small one, even Minecraft, which then you're just talking about Minecraft, they had to sit there and put a ending onto it with the end. But that was like a patch. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, this is a crazy tough question to ask. And the only thing I can really think, and it's going to be lame, and I understand it, I would almost want an open world game to be it would have to be on a VR system. It has to be very heavily,
That's the disconnect for me.
Yeah, no, I hear you, but like this is what I'm almost gonna sit there and say. You remember Spore?
Yes, I do.
Almost something like that. I would almost want to create something. Like I would almost want to be that universe's basically God. I want to be that universe's creator and be like, okay, here it is. Here's all this fun stuff. It's going to be a desert, and here's some of this, and maybe I can go down and party with them.
Oh man. Okay. That's your ideal.
I think that's more of an ideal open world. I don't know if that's mine, though.
Oh. Well, I mean, I want to know yours.
They're all so good, man. I told you, I'm an open world whore.
Oh yeah.
Red Dead Redemption is fantastic. Oh, that would be great. You want to know what? If there was a game that sat there, because this is the problem with vehicles and everything else. I think that kind of cuts away with the exploring. I would love to sit there and go from almost caveman to, let's say, cowboys. Whoa.
That's 7 Days to Die.
That is 7 Days to Die?
Yeah. You pretty much.
What the hell are we doing a podcast for? Let's just stream 7 Days to Die.
I mean, we absolutely can. I got it. Yeah. And I've been studying up on it, but yeah, no, you literally go from caveman to cowboy. You start off with absolutely nothing. You just like gradually go for. You start with like wooden clubs and grass clothes. Right. And then you start harvesting rocks, and then you get some iron. Right. You build a furnace. You make clubs, and eventually you work your way up to guns. And like the crowning moment, at least as far as I'm concerned, is when you finally get your mini bike put together.
Your mini bike?
Yeah.
So this is the Vespa you were talking about?
Yeah, it's not a Vespa.
Okay, I'm just imagining your character just driving.
It actually looks quite comical, but like it gives you such an edge over dealing with the zombies. And like every 7 days, you get attacked by a horde, and that's like the whole thing. It's like you gotta prepare for that horde night each and every time, because like it gets worse each and every time.
Okay, I know this is totally off topic of what we were talking about. I'm not gonna lie, I thought 7 Days to Die that's the title, right? Yeah. I really thought that was almost like a Majora's Mask thing, where it's like after 7 days the game's over.
No, oh no, okay, yeah, no. Who puts a roof on a moped? Yeah, Tasty. I was watching your stream earlier while we were getting ready for ours.
Right.
Who puts a roof on a moped? What am I, the Pope?
What am I, the Pope?
I'm gonna guess that's from Archer. I feel like that's from Archer.
But
I love me some movie and show quotes.
I don't know. I mean,
it kind of sounds like your ideal game is 7 Days to Die.
Well, no, because now I'm sitting there because that doesn't really have a story, right? But then like,
oh, okay.
This just popped up, like the Red Dead Redemption popped up. Beautiful open world game, and this is even a bigger thing and a sin that you need to fix as soon as possible. You have not beaten this game.
Yeah, that's right.
Because
yeah, we need to stream that or something.
Right. Because there's so much things to do. Because everything's alive, and even like you go out into the woods, you might find a certain mythical creature. I don't want to spoil anything for anybody who hasn't finished the game. Kieroneus, you suck. But like that story is so great.
By the way, hi Jester. Sorry.
Hey Jester.
I saw you come in. I didn't mean to not acknowledge you. They bring up a good point. VR chat doesn't have a story, but neither does 7 Days to Die.
Right.
But like, that's okay too. It doesn't have to have a story.
Right. I mean, again, just like technically, okay, Minecraft doesn't have a story; it has an ending.
Ooh, thanks for the Facebook like.
But I just like open world is so crazy to me, and like designing one takes so much time and so much planning.
Well, okay, this is like a fantasy scenario where you have infinite resources.
Right.
And you just make whatever you want. I'm doing fantastic, Jester. How about you?
But I don't know, because then all of a sudden I guess I don't know. So please keep on reading your and I'm calling it Fallout 5 because you are sitting there saying like, hey, it'd be a Fallout game.
Couchman is an enigma to you? Yes, he is an enigma wrapped in a mystery. See, Couchman, as I said earlier on, is well, I was going with the vigilante shtick, but he's chosen something for himself. Here, he's one of my cringy OCs.
Yeah, I actually came to life. I'm basically Mannequin. Have you remember the 90s? Mannequin. There you go. That's 90s, I think. Or is that 80s? Whatever. Mannequin.
Who knows? It's a movie I've never seen, so I can't weigh in on it. But yes, by day, he's a mild-mannered nudist. By night, he is the couch man, making villainy take a seat.
I love my day gig.
Oh, what's your perfect... Yeah, I know. We sometimes go down the rabbit hole. I have to go to the market really fast and try to get all of my viewers to come in. But that doesn't always work when I get... Oh, no, really, that's tasty, really. Thank you anyway. Really, it does my heart good that you made the effort at all. So thank you.
Yes, thank you very much.
Much appreciated. But don't you worry. Kieroneus TV is on the rise. We improve every single day, and we will continue to do so. Yes, you did great, Tasty. I agree. But I'm going to go ahead and launch into my list of...
Yes.
My list of Elder Scrolls demands. Here are my list of demands, Bethesda. You can either meet
them...
For
Skyrim, too.
Or I will cry at you so hard, you will be embarrassed. All right, first one. Literally just build on everything you did in both Skyrim and Fallout 4. Yes, say hi. Join the conversation. I mean, well, it's not a demand. You don't have to, but it's much appreciated. But anyway, yes, just do everything you did in Skyrim and Fallout 4. You've already got the groundwork laid out. All right. Number 2, try to incorporate a rival system like they had in the Shadow of Mordor games.
Oh, that'd be kind of the tits.
Yeah, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that really would.
Like you form a freaking rivalry with like a bandit group or something, or maybe maybe like the Dark Brother. I mean, once the Dark Brotherhood's after you, they're pretty much always after you. Number 3, this one I can sort of take or leave, but I wouldn't mind seeing it. Add a Beastmaster character build that allows you to permanently tame any creature in the overworld wilderness.
Time out. Okay, so what? Once you get this creature, what happens to this creature? Is it now your companion?
Yeah, it's sort of like it's sort of like a pet. And I know where you're going with this, but like I said, if you're going to put AI, make it good, which would be another caveat to that.
Okay.
You got make the character AI, make it so that you can walk through your companions. All right, don't just have the door blocking crap. He's wait a minute, hang on. There's like a whole conversation taking place here.
Yes, it's called a podcast. We do it every Monday.
I'm not used to having viewers. That's the problem.
I'm not used to having people listen to me.
No, it's just a strange feeling.
I'm sorry if I just made your ears bleed.
Oh, Sword of Truth. I read that book. It is a good book, but very intense. Wow, fellow book nerd. I'm so happy.
Is that a Conan book? No, that's not a Conan book.
No.
I'm sorry. I'm reading a Conan.
It's been a while.
Series.
Conan is also an excellent read, but it's been a while since I have. Thank you, Leonard. Gosh, gosh, oh, yuck. I'm getting off track here, though. Let me run through this list.
Yeah, run through the list. We're gonna be here
for
till 2 in the morning. We are gonna be here till 2 in the morning.
It's gonna be till 2 in the morning.
Moon time.
Fat characters. I want to be able to make a big, chubby, fat Khajiit, paint him orange, and call him Garfield. That's all I want.
Yes. Abso-freaking-lutely.
I want a fat cat character that
Bethesda,
I can name
we're
Garfield.
doing this for free. Just take our ideas.
This is free advice, Bethesda. You don't have to pay us. Accreditation would be nice, but you don't have to pay us. Hair color has no limitations. So if I want to make a big, fat, disgusting, pink-haired person, that's I want to be able to do that with really bad facial piercings. You know, it's like I will do that. Don't think I won't. Armor and weapon customization. I feel like that's been severely lacking from a lot of games. It's only been recently until Fallout 4 that they actually added that. And that's what I want to see more like that, but like just a little bit more in depth. Like you can paint it whatever color you want. You can add maybe upgrades to it. That I think would just make it absolutely perfect, because I want my special snowflake character to look his best as he's running through the Tamriel, hitting goblins over the head.
I have one question for you.
Shoot.
For both of these games you have made, does your character talk, or is it the speaking system that
it sort of conflicts with my idea that the character is unattached?
Right.
Because like in Fallout 4, the character sort of had to talk, or at least have a personality. Mm-hmm. I could take or leave the talking. It's not important to me. Although I will say that the voice actors for the sole survivor in Fallout 4 both did an amazing job. Like their reactions, their emotions were very believable.
Oh, I forgot there was a voice actor for Fallout 4.
Yeah, the sole survivor. I think like my favorite part is when you encounter Kellogg and he's like, "Damn it, you mercenary mother." You know, it's like just like so convincing. It's like, yeah, because like that's exactly how I felt.
Right.
When I encountered him. But like I said, without getting too jonesed out about it, I would actually prefer an unattached character.
Right.
Thing is, though, you're mostly unattached in New Vegas, and I hated that game, ironically.
Oh yeah, that isn't you. I thought you were the guy who was playing through it again, and you found a new love for it. Never mind, that's not you.
No. No, I trust me, I played through that game many times wanting to love it, but I just couldn't. Like I was trying to find a way to attack it at just the right angle to where I could get into it.
Right.
And it just wasn't happening. Mm-hmm. And speaking of just not happening, folks, I really wish we didn't have to end it now, but unfortunately we do.
Ugh.
It makes me sad every time we do this, but it is time to call it a night. This has been Kieroneus TV. We are all the news and gossip that is fit to cringe about. Later, losers.